What's the deal? It's Ghost. I'm back. And you know we booming. I brought you another one, man. We here with the Geraldo Rivera show. Man, I've been kind of going over Geraldo shows. Man, he got some substance with the talk, with the criteria he got with the shows I've been looking at. But I got a special one for you guys today. Yes, sir. But before we get into it, man, I just wanted to know, like, how your day going? Hopefully it's going great and it gets greater as the day goes by. Today is March 9th. It's a Monday, so we're gonna start this week off right. This is day two for me with no weed. You know what I mean? So we definitely starting that engine up. We about to get into it. Summertime right around the corner, man. I gotta make sure that my testosterone level, is back up booming by that time. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to get hot outside too. I remember when it was cold that night. It was like it was below 50s. Now, you know how California weather is. One day it's raining, one day it's cold, the next day it's hot as hell. So definitely hot out here. But yes, sir, man, I got this new one. I got the Geraldo Rivera show. So on this show, man, he's interviewing Trump back in '96. So this time Trump was just known as an entrepreneur. But I was kind of scheming over it. But you can see the demeanor Trump has. I mean, this is Trump. Trump. Yeah, I think it was destined for him to be the president of the United States. You know what I mean? Because regardless of what people say about Trump, the bottom line is he getting the job done. That's a fact. Trump making stuff happen. So I'm gonna bring you this interview. We're gonna get into this. Let's see what Trump was talking about back in the '90s. So, but around the time again, he was an entrepreneur. Trump was definitely a businessman, all about his paper. And you can see too, Trump had charisma. He knew how to, he knew how to handle himself as a businessman. Also as a ladies' man too, man. You can't take nothing away from Trump, man. At the end of the day, Trump the man. Let's get into this.
You. He's a man known worldwide for his.
Oh yeah, don't forget, man. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I don't know. I was seeing the video I posted yesterday, and I be seeing like the views. It'll show that I got so many views, then the next day the views will drop. But regardless, if you peeping, man, go and hit that like button. It don't cost you nothing to hit that like button. And, you know what I'm saying? And you can hit the little hype button too, man. Help me out. You know what I'm saying? We all we got. Let's do this.
Bold and brash business style. He's a guy who has engineered one of the biggest turnarounds in modern business history. He's a lucky enough fellow to be married to one of the best looking women, one of the nicest women in the country. It's the man, it's the myth, it's the Donald. Donald Trump joins us, ladies and gentlemen.
See how he made his little grand entrance. That's exactly how he walk on the stage when he do his presidential speeches. Now he was saying he was married to one of the prettiest women in the world. I'm thinking that at this time he was still with his wife, who he's currently with now. I'm guessing so. This is in '95. So if it's the same girl, I think it was her, Melina. She been holding Trump down for a long time, so it's only right that she sitting, right by his side in the position that he is now, because she definitely paid her dues. She been stumping in the mud for decades with Trump. So she definitely got the spot.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bud.
Thank you.
Have a seat. Bye.
Also, too, when I was doing my management, hey man, I remember I had ties that was from Donald Trump. Donald Trump had a tie uh, a clothing line, but I think he had it was basically. I'm pretty sure he probably had other clothes too, but I just remember having ties that was Donald Trump clothing line. So what I mean, Donald Trump, man, he definitely done a lot out here in America, man. He been stumping grounds and putting his name all over the map. So for him to be the president now, it all makes sense. He paid his dues. He built up that engine to put him in the position that he's in now. Trump a cold businessman for sure. If anybody know about Trump the type of dude that file for bankruptcy fast because most of all his assets are all through business accounts. So really nothing is in your name. That's the name of the game is to have a business and get assets in your business through your business, and then you can just file for Chapter 13. And this is the man that is notorious for that. Just to get away from just to slip out of some debt.
Nice you could make it.
Well, it's great to be here. I see you have some real talent of it.
Real
This is a
talent?
great lawyer.
He's
He is
all
a
right.
great
You
lawyer.
think that Johnny Cochran has met his match?
Well, I think he's probably come close to meeting his match. I would say that. I know Raul very well. I was very lucky.
Face some seizing.
That's true. I was very lucky he did not represent
Ivana.
Ivana, and I did okay.
We were talking on the telephone a couple of days ago, and you revealed to me something astonishing. I want to get to Marlon.
So he's sitting next to a gang of lawyers. Now, Johnny Cochran, let me look this up because I'm thinking Johnny Cochran was the lawyer that represented OJ. Let me see. Johnny Cochran. Let me check my handy dandy notebook. Johnny Cochran. Oh no, excuse me. Yeah, I knew I was losing my mind. That's definitely not Johnny Cochran. I was like, damn, ain't Johnny Cochran black? Yeah, that. I don't know who the boy is, but Johnny Cochran, which he just mentioned, that was O.J. Simpson's defense team. Which got him off that case for killing his actual wife and his wife's secret boyfriend. Yeah, so I apologize about that information. That guy is definitely not Johnny Cochran.
The kids and this phenomenal business turnaround. But you revealed something about your friendship over the years with O.J. Simpson and how he related to you his relationship to Nicole. Now, every time he came to see you or you were socializing together, as I understand it, O.J. would be with a different woman.
Well, he'd always be with a different woman and a very beautiful woman, but he would talk about Nicole, and he definitely loved Nicole. There's no question about it in my mind. And you and I being friends, I mean, I did relate to you the one story about O.J.
Okay, so he talking about OJ right now, right? And the year is 1995. So when was the OJ case? Let me see, man. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, why is you on the show talking about OJ right now? OJ Simpson trial. We about to put this. We about to figure out right now. Let me see. OJ Simpson trial. When was when was O.J. Simpson trial? October 3rd, 1995. Okay, so it's seeming like it's around the time the trial happened because it said this talk show is 1995. The O.J. Simpson trial was in. They decided it was October 3rd of 1995. So we got Trump on a national television talking about OJ, saying, "Yeah, OJ, he used to be with all the ladies. He'd come around me with a different woman all the time, but he used to always talk about Nicole." So I'm trying to find out that, like, are you trying to send shots at OJ right now while he's on trial? Because again, the talk show, as you see here, 1995. This is when he had this. So let's get into this. Let's see why Trump is coming on the Geraldo Rivera show talking about O.J. Simpson.
Jay's constantly just discussing Nicole, how he loved Nicole, no matter who he was with. So
even if he was with a woman as lovely and as stunning as Paula Barbieri.
We're Phoenix Energy, a family-owned oil company focused on unleashing American oil from North Dakota and Montana.
He would pull you aside and say what?
Well, he just said, hey, I'm getting back with Nicole, and I intend to be back with Nicole, and she's great. I love her, and that's who I'm going back with. And this has been, I mean, I'm not the only one this was.
So Trump, what he's saying right now is he obviously was friends with OJ. They were good. They were good friends. OJ was friends with everybody. But that's like Jay-Z was saying when Jay-Z made that song saying he was like, I ain't black, I'm OJ. Okay. Basically, saying that OJ thought that he was one of them. OJ thought he was so in with the white folks that he low key thought he was one of them. Or OJ was a man though. OJ could do whatever really at the time he felt in his mind that he can do anything that he wanted. Especially getting away with that murder. That's still controversy to this day. But it seems like, again, him and Trump were good friends. And one thing, even though O.J. Simpson had a gang of women, because again, he was a big time football player, so he had the money, he had the women, but he always had that one that he was in love with, and that one was Nicole. And that's basically what Trump is saying right now, is that even when he's seen him with all kind of beautiful women, he would still always bring up Nicole, letting him know that she was the one that he really wanted to be with.
This was said to many of his friends. I've known OJ. I'm just devastated over what's happened. He's been a friend for a long time. A great guy.
Was he at your wedding?
Great guy. He was at my wedding. And
who did he bring to the wedding?
That's a tough question. Why can't they ask a nice, simple business question?
I'll get to that.
It's
Trump being messy. And again, this is in 1995. This is of the same timeline of when OJ was on trial. Now you can see when he asked that question, who did he bring to the wedding? I don't want to answer that question. Basically insinuating that it wasn't his wife. Cold nigga. He low-key throwing him under the bus. You already throwing him under the bus saying every time you seen him, he was with a different woman. So who knows what Trump is doing right now? Is he trying to paint this picture that's trying to, that's going to go against OJ? Because again, this is 1995. This is the same year when he was on trial. So, in my mind, I'm thinking that OJ is on trial right now. But let's get into this. I'm pretty sure it's gonna all come out.
relevant.
It was not Nicole.
It was not Nicole. Nicole, I think, was in California at the time. But
And yet,
Donald, in fact, I was going to say, so doesn't that indicate obsession rather than love? If he's with another girl and all he talks about years after a divorce, it sounds to me that a man is obsessed, not in love.
well, he was definitely in love.
Hold on. So we got Donald Trump coming on the Geraldo Rivera show, but he talking about OJ. Then he got this other dude, and again, excuse me, because I was thinking that he was saying that this dude was Johnny Cochran, and it kind of mind-boggled me. I'm like, damn, ain't Johnny Cochran black? But yeah, obviously he is. Johnny Cochran's the one that, got OJ off that case. He got him acquitted. But this dude right here, this dude is insinuating that OJ was obsessed with Nicole, saying that, okay, he had other women around, but he was always talking about Nicole. So it seemed to me that they're making this show right now during his trial to put OJ in a bad light. That's all I can see. And Trump know exactly what he doing too when he came on this show talking about, yeah, he used to always see him with beautiful women, but he always talked about Nicole, saying that he wanted. Man, it's a cold game. Let's keep it going. Let's see what's going on.
Love with Nicole. I don't know. It's not my business. Your business is probably you're the best. But yeah, sometimes, although to a certain extent it might be. But he certainly loved Nicole. There's no question about that in my mind.
let me introduce the ladies who are sitting between Raul and Donald. Andrea Pizer, recently back from Los Angeles, where she has been covering the Simpson trial for the New York Post. She has a new book out, incidentally, on the tragic Susan Smith story, the South Carolina mother who allegedly drowned her youngsters. And Jamie Brown, the fine columnist and publisher of Sister to Sister, based in Washington, D.C. So, you ladies have a question for Donald?
No, I wanted to say this. I was in a, not with my husband, but an abusive relationship at one time, and they do love you, and they're very...
Okay, yeah, so I see what's going on, because you see the pictures in the back. You got a picture of O.J. Simpson. You got a picture of O.J. Simpson's wife and the boy toy that O.J. Simpson's wife was dealing with. So it's pretty much you got the suspects and the murder victims all on display. Then you got, I'm not sure who this lady is, but Trump said when he first came on initially that she was a great lawyer. So these people are obviously in the legal world. Then Trump comes out and they talking about OJ. So what is what is this show? Crazy work. All in 95. And this is during the trial of O.J. Simpson. So in my mind, they trying to paint a picture to make O.J. look like more of, more of a bad guy. Because I'm pretty sure when this all happened, it was a lot of people feeling some type of way. Life was lost. Everybody felt that OJ definitely did it. For him to run away, be driving, he running from the cops in the Bronco. Everybody like, what you running from? Obviously they felt that he had something to do with it. But this show right now just seems that they trying to paint a picture.
Sorry after they crack your head, and there's a lot of love and tenderness, but there's a lot of abuse. They can go off over anything. And one thing that I was very upset during the OJ trial when they tried to make light of the call that the police got, and they said it was a wrestling match that OJ had with Nicole, and they said, well, did she have any marks on her body? Listen, this guy is pounding you in your head. He's standing over you. He's bigger than life. You're scared to death to even touch him. The fact that he does not have marks on his body means nothing. Anyone frightened like that, I've been in that situation, and a lot of women, we were sitting around discussing that who had been abused, and we said, how the heck can they talk about this like this? It's like, it's a wrestling match.
That's how men talk about it. No.
Okay, so that's what's going on. This whole show is concerning the O.J. Simpson trial. And they basically trying to shed light on why they feel like he's guilty. Point blank, that's what's going on. She's saying that the the defense team was saying that he didn't have any marks on him. So how was it a struggle? But she's saying that, what kind of struggle would it be between him and his wife? That's a fragile woman. O.J. Simpson, all pro football player. But this is what this show is about, though. They trying to shed light on if he is guilty or not guilty, and they basically putting their opinions on how they feel about the situation. But it's crazy to me how Trump walks on like he's the main character, and this whole thing is about OJ. Trump is saying that OJ is his friend. Man, you definitely not his friend, because if you was really his friend, you wouldn't have did this show. You wouldn't have did this show at all. And then you throwing rocks and hiding your hand by saying, yeah, I used to always see him with beautiful women, but different women, but it wasn't Nicole. But he loved Nicole. Come on. And then also too, I think OJ obviously was, they obviously was friends. He went to Trump's wedding. So it all comes back to like the Epstein files. Like, is OJ Simpson in the Epstein files too? Was OJ Simpson on the island? You know what I mean? So just think about that rabbit hole right there, though. For him to beat the trial and the murder trial, like, what did OJ know that kept him a free man? Because you remember when he ran inside that building in Vegas to go get his memorabilia. He didn't get no fucks. He ran up in there with his homie with the pistol. He had the ski mask on. He was pistol whipping. He wanted all. You know what I mean? For a man to feel untouchable like that, like what kind of knowledge does OJ really know about Trump? And think about it. He went to Trump's wedding. I'm pretty sure OJ was on that island with Donald Trump and Epstein. But let's keep this going though.
I know, I understand that.
I want to ask Donald how he keeps his relationship going when so much of your private life is lived out in front of tens of millions of people.
Well, I think you just can't necessarily believe everything that you read. It's incredible, the false rumor, false innuendo. But you have it to a large extent also, Geraldo. I mean, you do it, you live your life, you have a good person with you. I've had, some really incredible relationships over the course of my life. I have to tell you that Marla's a very outstanding woman. She's taken a tremendous amount of abuse wrongfully. She was attacked viciously from a mental standpoint from this character, Chuck Jones.
Chuck Jones, we had him on our panel. What? Who's on the telephone? Hello?
Hello?
It's Marla on the phone. Marla Maples Trump. Hi, hon. How you doing?
This $10 pen fixed what $1,000.
Let me know. Is that his current wife? Let me look. Let me do my research one time though. Let's see, what's the name of Trump's wife? Donald Trump has been married 3 times and has 5 children. His wives were Ivana Trump, Marla Maples, and Melania Trump, married in 2005. Okay, so I think this is Melania who we talking to right now. So this ain't Ivana Trump. So this is one of his past. Who they talking about is his past wife. All right, make that make sense.
Worth of creams couldn't, because this yellow crust is why your nail fungus won't go.
Marla, where are you?
Oh, I'm far away from New York City, and I thought from the press too, Geraldo, but you got me.
So yeah, what?
No, that's Marla. Okay, so let's see. Marla Maples. They was married from 1993 to 1999. Okay, so Ivana Trump You know, it's just the criteria I'm looking at is kind of wild though. But basically, that's who's on the phone right now. It's Marla. That's one of his old wives.
What do you think of this guy, really? Is he really the sexiest man that you've ever known?
I think and that I've probably ever heard of, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How's your child? I don't even know this.
Talk to me nice, mommy. Yes, you already know. You already know that answer was supposed to come out crispy clean. She dealing with $1 million nigga. Fuck you think she gonna say?
Specifics. How old is your baby?
Our child?
Yeah.
Our little child is having a beautiful little nap, getting ready to watch the sun go down and trying to get a little bit of normalcy in a crazy world.
It is a crazy world. Okay, let me get back to Donald and Marla. Let me show you some video of Donald and his wife and their baby. Don't we have that video? Let's roll it. Here, everybody see.
Nah, man, but make it make sense though. Like, what's all the whole setup though? You bring Trump on the show. Y'all ask him about OJ. You got OJ picture in the back with the murder victims on the side. But you got his wife calling in, just talking happy. Y'all just like, what is the whole subject of this show right now though? Because to me, it seemed like y'all, you parading around, y'all trying to slide OJ up under the bus right now.
That this public guy, here is, imagine every move, every sigh, photograph, Marla right here.
Too much excitement here.
The last thing we heard about your business, Mr. Trump, was that you were over leveraged, that people were closing down their debts on you, that they were taking away control of your various casinos and your far-flung empire. Your real estate developments had stalled. As you sit there today...
Hey, man, that's one thing about Trump, man. Trump a cold player. Trump had casinos in Vegas, all kind of businesses. You know what I mean? So it was only right that he was going to become the president of the United States. Trump is a very powerful man. I'm not sure what bloodline he come from, but he definitely come from money. You know, he was doing things that, you know, the normal American citizen wouldn't even fathom being able to do. But I'm just trying to find out, like, what's the narrative of this show right now? Because again, y'all talking about O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson is no way around to defend himself. But right now, it's like y'all parading about Trump and his wife and kids and their relationship. Like, bro, get to the point though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the deal with the OJ pictures in the back? Like, what y'all getting to?
Give me a one-word answer, and then you can develop it in more detail when we come back in a minute. How are things going business-wise?
Well, it's probably been the best year of my life from a business standpoint, but I had to go back to work. One word, I don't know, can we say luck? Maybe luck.
Luck is a good word.
Did the media affect your relationship with Donald?
Oh, without a doubt.
Hey, for the record, we like Donald around here.
Yes.
We do. I mean, he's a very controversial guy, but I think that he's an honest businessman. And
it's
just
very
because he's
difficult.
flamboyant, I mean, since when do we hold that against people?
Well, I think the media has been very good for him in business.
So, I don't know. It seemed like they going to another episode where he had Trump on, but what was that about, though? What was that about, though, man? Trump walk on the stage. I'm thinking it's about him. They got the picture of O.J. Simpson with Nicole, her little boy toy. You know, the murder victims. And then they switched over to another segment. So I guess this is just all on the times that Trump was on the Geraldo show. But that's crazy though. Just think about it though, because Trump said that O.J. Simpson went to his wedding. He didn't bring Nicole with him. He brought another a looker, because obviously O.J. had bitches. But it just all stemmed back to the Epstein files though. When you think about it, like how did, you know what I mean? Because A lot of people didn't like the fact that OJ beat that case. They felt like it was no way that he beat that case. But it was a whole lot of, BS in between, but they found the loopholes and they got him off it though. But just think about it though. Does it really stem back to the Epstein files though? I wonder if OJ Simpson naming them files, like he was on that, was he on that island? You never know. You never know. Because OJ felt like he was one of them anyways, though. You know what I'm saying? So you would think that, you'd be like, man, I don't think he'd do no weirdo shit. You would be surprised.
Ways, but in a personal way, it's been very, very tough, and it's really caused a lot of pain.
Do you think your private life will ever be private?
I think now I'm in a field that it'd be very difficult to ever have the privacy that you long for in your
And you want to do a
personal life.
sitcom?
I would love to fight for that.
Marla, during her appearance on our studio stage some months ago. Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Trump.
Oh no, I'm tripping. We still on the same category. So that was Marla right there. They were just showing his wife. So let's get into this. Let's deep dive. See what they get into though.
I'd like to know who was your mentor?
Well, I just happen to adore a certain guy known as my father. I have a great father and a great mother, and I think those two people really had a lot to do with the way I came out, for better or worse.
Now, your career was obviously jump-started, in a sense, by your dad, but you took it well beyond that. Percentage-wise, how much bigger is it now than when you were 21, say?
Well, I mean, percentage-wise, when I was 21, I was working for my father in Brooklyn. He built housing in Brooklyn and Queens predominantly and did a beautiful job, middle-income housing, low-income housing. And I always wanted to build apartments for Johnny Carson, Sophia Loren, and Steven Spielberg. This was like my thing. And so we've really come a long way. Then we went through the real estate crunch in 1990, 91 and survived it now, I guess, where we're probably stronger than we were in the 80s, and I'm really happy. We just purchased the Empire State Building.
I'm trying to figure this out because it's really not making sense to me. We got Trump sitting here, but we got a big ass picture of O.J. Simpson in the back. But Trump is sitting here talking about his life, his mom and dad. He looked up to his dad. That was his mentor. All his great aspirations. He wanted to work for Shakespeare, build property for him, or whatever the case may be. Okay, cool. But why do y'all got O.J. Simpson in the back with the picture? Like, what's the deal though? Make it make sense, because I'm starting to feel like this was just an attempt to assassinate a black man's character because he was put in a position that was basically going to, strip him from all of his accolades. And I think that's what it is. And they got that one black lady sitting there. She the only one, talking. What other dude said something too, talking about somebody being obsessed. But it just seemed like those other three people that's next to Trump are there to put their opinions on why they feel like OJ is guilty. But it's like, whoa. Like, when you think about the whole scenario of the show, it's like, man, this right here is basically, this is like, Trump is trying to say, yeah, he's a good guy, but he's still throwing rocks and hiding his hand by saying, y'all should all see him with different women, so kind of like painting them out to be like this player, and he had other women, and he was basically like just doing Nicole dirty. That's basically what all I see. Like, y'all trying to paint the picture like OJ, y'all trying to paint the picture that, the reason why he did what he did. But let's keep this going.
We just did a couple of other little things, so
you're not going to turn the lights off, are you?
No, well, maybe just a little bit.
Didn't you open up another casino in Atlanta?
I have, yes. I have.
So how many casinos do you have now?
Well, I have 3 casinos in Atlantic City, and we were just designated in Gary, Indiana, which is about 15 minutes away from Chicago, for the other. Out of 18 companies, they chose me as #1, so I'm very happy about that.
Mike Walker, you have a question for Donald?
Yeah, as somebody who lives in one of the world's dullest communities, the Palm Beach area, I'm wondering how Mar-a-Lago, your private club, is going. We're looking forward to some excitement there.
Don't settle for less. Here's what others are doing to fix missing and broken teeth. The company everyone has been raving about is called Nuvia.
Well, it may be dull.
So they about to show the picture of Mar-a-Lago, but look, he still talk about Mar-a-Lago to this day. Trump been on. You know, this is the states that he on, and he talk about it. He talk about this, you know, at the White House. Like, this is his second White House.
But it's a fabulous community. It's probably my favorite community. It's maybe the greatest house in America. It's been rated and ranked the greatest house in America beyond San Simeon.
I ain't gonna front you, man. All I see right now is Trump shitting on OJ right now. That's all what's going on right now. Trump showing all his accolades. He getting up here, got his wife calling in. He talking about all but the whole time he doing it, he got OJ picture right there in the back, sitting there again with OJ, with his wife, Nicole picture, a separate picture. Then another separate picture of wasn't the dude? I think the dude's name was Ronald Goldman. But he's sitting here. He's sitting on the stage right now, in front of those pictures, talking about all his accomplishments. Like, make it make sense. Like, what is this show right now? You mean, what was the whole outlook of the show? Trump always been a dirty motherfucker. He the man though, you know, because he got all the motion, he got all the power. But Trump showing his true, he's showing his true character though. They came over here just to drag OJ through the mud. I'm trying to figure out, like, is he on trial right now? Was the trial over with? That's the real question. Like, if y'all talking about this dude right now, because obviously he probably still on trial. For y'all to have him piss pictures up, he not even there to defend himself.
Which is in California, and the Breakers, which is in Newport, Rhode Island. I guess you're seeing it right there. That's called Mar-a-Lago. I've converted that after years of haggling and lots of other problems with the city and the town and everything else. We're converting that into a private club, and it's going tremendously. I mean, the members, as you probably heard, the lists are swelling as to members. Everyone's joining. We're opening it up sometime around the middle of March, and we really look forward to it. I think it's going to be great, and I'd love to have you come down and take a look.
Well, thanks. Anybody who will bring the celebrities right to my door is, I'm absolutely all in favor of.
Man, a bunch of sickos. You kind of, man, when you really think about it, when you really turn that light bulb on up top, you start to go down that rabbit hole and you be thinking like, damn, was all this planned from the get-go? Because Trump had power. This is back in the early 90s. You see how he talking? Trump had casinos. He already had Mar-a-Lago. He was saying he going to turn it to a club. People had memberships to it. So realistically, Mar-a-Lago was kind of like Epstein's private island though, but you didn't have to go to the private island. All you had to do was come to Mar-a-Lago. Trump had it popping. But you know, like, what I'm trying to get to is like the 1%ers, like, you know what I mean? All the people that control the money flow. You know, they all bouncing ideas off each other, but that's the people that run the world though. So you kind of think like, was this all kind of planned, you know, moving forward, that this was going to be, Trump was going to end up becoming the president? And shit get wicked though, man. Let's keep going.
You want to tell us, Mike, do you know any of the celebrities reported to have joined?
Oh, the list is long. I mean, I don't know. Elizabeth Taylor is one. It's a long list.
Can you confirm Elizabeth Taylor?
I can confirm Elizabeth Taylor. We have a great list, and one of the things where I really got killed on was Prince Charles, and it was amazing. As I was being beaten up by the press that he wouldn't have joined as an honorary member, that he wouldn't even be an honorary member, About a week later, I get this letter from my secretary. She walks in with a letter from Balmoral Castle, Prince Charles. Dear Donald, it's great to be invited. I look forward to being there, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, I wish this really came out like about a week before, because I did get killed on that one, and it happened to be true.
Did I hear Wesley Snipes is a member?
We have Wesley Snipes.
Man, check the lingo with how he's saying. He was like, it's going to kill me. But he's saying this, and they got the picture of OJ in the back, man. I mean, they be doing these weird-ass little rituals. But just how they did Diddy, though. They did. Now when they say Diddy name, they be like the disgraced mogul. So this is probably another play to disgrace another black man that had, that pretty much was up there. He was rubbing shoulders with Trump. Like I said, he went to Trump's wedding, though. So in OJ mind, he felt like he was one of them. But realistically, he wasn't. So it just seemed like me right now, this is a low, like what you want to call it? A humiliation ritual. Now, don't get me wrong, though. I'm not saying OJ, he can just be bypassed and just kill people and get away with it. But at the end of the day, he did beat the case. Nobody has proof that he did it. OJ a crazy motherfucker too, though, because, once he had beat the case, he had wrote a book, said, if I would have did it, but, OJ, they put that man on a high pedestal. So OJ felt how he felt. He just felt entitled. It is what it is, though. But you can see what's going on right now, because they not even talking about, they talked about OJ a little bit when he came out, but right now he's just bragging about all his accolades, what he got, what he does, but he's sitting right behind OJ. But it's not OJ in the physical. They just got a picture of him. Make that shit make sense.
We have about, I would say, almost 200 members now, and we have really the creme de la creme. Kenny G just joined. We have just a fabulous group of people.
I hate to, go back to the same old tired thing, but I want to give you a chance to get off the hook in a sense. In light of what you...
And mind you see how they name dropping Kenny G? They said the Prince. It's all about the who's at the end of the day. And you can tell that OJ was one of them, but they pretty much trying to disgrace him at this point because of the situation that he put himself in. They saying it's stemming behind jealousy. That's why he's saying that he always used to see. Think about it. He was like, yeah, every time I seen OJ, he was with a beautiful woman. It wasn't Kim. So they saying that OJ was pretty much already cheating. So it was obviously only right for Nicole to have her fun too. But, they just trying to paint this picture, though, is what's really going on. And it's crazy, though. You know why? Because OJ is not there to defend himself. I'm pretty sure when OJ watched this shit, OJ probably was like, man, fuck Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he said when he seen this. He looking like, the fuck they got my picture up. And Trump just sitting there tooting his horn, talking about the casinos he got. Come on, man. What's going on? This low-key make Geraldo look bad. Like, bro, what was you into?
About his admitted acts of domestic violence. Would you care to rephrase your feelings about OJ being a nice guy?
Well, no, I can only say OJ as I know OJ. I'm not saying OJ is guilty, innocent, or anything. Okay, what I see is appalling, and what I see certainly doesn't lead to, from my viewpoint, if I were a juror, I don't know, I'd have a real hard time with this one. I can only tell you that from a personal standpoint, as somebody that knows OJ well, I found it really incredibly hard to believe that he could do a violent act like this. He's just a very different guy.
May I ask Marla? Marla?
Hi.
Was he always pleasant to you?
I only met OJ on a couple of occasions in passing, and he was very pleasant on those occasions. But, in life, you never know what really happens on the other.
But in life, you never know. So But Trump trying to uphold his position, being that he's his friend. He was like, he came to my wedding. Yeah, you know, OJ's a great friend of mine. I wouldn't think he'd do something like this. But if you was a real friend of OJ, you wouldn't have came on here the way that the whole setup, because it looked bad, man. It looked bad on your part. It just make you look like you just like a type of snitch. You know what I mean? Like you was smiling somebody's face and stabbing them in the back type. Smile in the face, stab in the back type nigga. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Don't get me wrong though. I'm not saying, you know, but at the end of the day, OJ was already acquitted for these murders, so we can't call OJ a murderer.
Their side of things.
I want to invite you to a free trading and investing workshop right here in Los Angeles that will forever change how
you know, personal relationship.
As I speak to you, I'm reminded we were at the Roberto Duran Vinny Pacienza fight in Atlantic City, and we ran into Donald and Marla.
But you heard what Trump said. He said, I can't say that he's innocent or guilty. So obviously he was on trial during this show.
That's a little violent.
That's a little violent. At least that's contained. That's where it should be. Yeah. And it was amazing how all of the women on the show, my wife, the cousins, the friend, not what Donald is really like. What's Marla Maples really like? Everybody seems so curious, and I told you, she just seems very sweet.
Question, Marla, too. You know, Fresh Prince and his wife just broke up. They announced that yesterday. I don't know if everyone knows that. And I was asked this morning by another news program, Jamie, do you think it's because the pressure of being in the media all the time? And, well, I can't answer that, but I want to know, because you all are in the media all the time, does it ever get to the point where you can go on and just deal with your lives without having to deal with what's coming at you? Because it's hard to work at a marriage in the first place. But when you've got everything coming in on you, you want to talk about the children today, but you can't because you got to talk about what was written up in the paper yesterday or whatever.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting that you mentioned Fresh Prince, because we were called by one of the top executives at NBC when I was in Los Angeles recently, could I do the show? So I got to know.
I ain't gonna lie though. That's one thing for sure. You trying to uphold a family life and you in the media. I'm pretty sure it can get hectic. The pressure can get built up. The only way you can win and be in those situations is that you can't pay attention to all what's being said in the media. You can't let that affect you. But, you know, that's why a lot of the people that are famous, they lose their mind. They get all that money, the fame. You know, it ain't all cracked up to how you think it is. You know, you got to handle that. You got to handle it well, because you got a lot of opinions. You got people that's attacking you from all sides. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, it don't stop. So you definitely have to manage that type of lifestyle. You know, some people made for it. Like some people, they fall into that lifestyle and they not made for it. You know, they end up having bad drug habits. You know, or sometimes people just, you know, they unalive themselves. You be wondering how somebody famous that got money, like how did they kill themselves? But you know, money ain't everything. You know, because if you're not happy as a person, and you got yourself in a what I want to say, you got yourself like in a timeline that you can't get out of, that's wrecking your brain. A lot of people just want to check out. You know, so you definitely want to take care of yourself, take care of your mental health and your physical health. You know, that's why I always come back to loving yourself, man. You always want to love you, because if you don't love you, who else gonna love you?
Will, who I think is like this tremendous guy. Right. I met his wife. I'm obviously not very good at figuring things out in terms of personal relationship, because I looked at that relationship and said to Marla, isn't that beautiful? Look at that wonderful relationship. and then I just hear what you're saying now, so I'm rather.
There goes his credentials as a family therapist, right. All right, let me take a break. I must. We'll be right back with an explosive new development. Listen to some of Trump's credits. He obtained the convention center site, the new New York convention, Jacob Javits Convention Center, restored the Grand Central Terminal.
Look at that shit. They just over here tooting Trump's horn the whole show though, but he's sitting right in front of OJ picture. You can't tell me this ain't a humiliation ritual. That's exactly what's going on right now. In their mind, they probably was thinking like, it's no way he gonna beat this. So I think he was on trial during this point. So this is kind of like the starting point of, to me, it looked like Trump just trying to, like, he's sitting in front of the man, because I'm pretty sure OJ, like, his actual real aura in real time, I'm pretty sure Trump couldn't fuck with OJ. You know, OJ probably had that presence that made a dude feel some type of way. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So Trump sitting here right now, he's sitting in front of his picture. OJ can't even defend himself, and he just sitting here. They talking about all his accolades. Like, bro, make this shit make sense. It's like on this this remind me of like some type of Napoleon complex type shit. Cause it's like, why do you have OJ picture in the back, and y'all keep talking about all of the accomplishments that Trump has done? Then want to come back simultaneously and ask him, how do you feel? Do you feel that he was a violent person? Like, man, what is we talking about? Is we talking about Trump, or is we talking about OJ? Or is Trump just coming on here trying to toot his horn because OJ, in his mind, he thinking OJ done. So so in my mind right now, I'm thinking that Trump felt some type of way about OJ when, you know what I mean, when he came around. OJ was that nigga though. But he thought he was one of them though. So that's probably what really pissed off. That's probably what really pissed Trump off. Trump was like, some motherfucker OJ think he whiter than me. But Trump was just that dude. I mean, not Trump, excuse me. OJ was just that dude. He just knew he had it, and he ran with it.
Plaza Hotel still owns it. Trump Towers, one of the great buildings in New York. Grand Hyatt Hotel, Trump Palace Casino, Trump Park, Trump Plaza. Riverside South is now a building. I see the buildings going up outside my window. The Empire State Building, he mentioned. The Trump International Hotel and Tower. Where will that one go?
It's going at the Gulf and Western Building, at the former Gulf and Western, which is now occupied by Paramount
The
Pictures.
southwest corner of Central Park.
Right on the corner.
Wow, what a property that is. You've got all kinds of things in Atlantic City, like the Taj Mahal Casino, the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino, the Castle Casino Resort, then the Gary, Indiana River. Can you lend me $1?
I'll tell you. This is such a great commercial, folks. This is good.
How much you...
He said, can you lend me $1? Man, lend me $1 million. No, Trump, for sure. He was the man, though. You see all the businesses he had? This is 95, though. So it seemed like he didn't accomplish all his goals back in 95. So this time moving forward, he probably like, yeah, I mean, what's the next biggest thing I could do? Is run America. And he doing it. But like I said, I think this is, man, that world, man, I'm telling you, it's all about the top 1%ers, though. You see him name dropping people. The people that he's name dropping is all the people that's well off, that's wealthy. You know what I mean? But like I said, this all goes back to, really extend back to the Epstein files too as well. Though I just want to know, was OJ name in the Epstein files, man? Hold on, let me look it up and see, man, because let me put this up. Hold on, matter of fact, let me ask my let's see, man. OJ name in the X files. Let me ask ChatGPT. Was OJ name in the Epstein files?
There's no credible evidence that O.J. Simpson was named in the Epstein files. While some reports claimed he was included, those claims were unverified, and major public compilations of the documents don't list him. In short, there's no reliable documentation tying him to the Epstein files.
Okay. So you heard it yourself though, but they said that there's speculations that he was there. So OJ was a real player though. He was up there though, but I think OJ know more than he's supposed to know. Being the fact that he thought that he was one of them because he was really in that circle. So that kind of goes to the whole rabbit hole, like, you know what I'm saying? Think about it. OJ, you know what I'm saying, getting away with the murders. Like I said, you know what they say, OJ did it. But like I said, he got acquitted of it. So let's keep it going. Let's see what Trump is about to what's the end game with this show though? That's what I want to know.
Worth.
Oh, I have no idea.
Come on.
I could tell you that
$1 billion?
About 5 years ago, I was worth -$1 billion. Anybody in this room was worth at least, if you're worth nothing, you were worth $1 billion more than me. Okay?
Wow.
So five years ago, I had a negative net worth of about -$900 million.
Marla, is he stingy? Does he let you buy dresses? What's the story?
Nah, but you hear what he said. He said he was worth -$900 million, but basically what he trying to tell you is that he was doing all them bankruptcies, and he was pretty much like he was dodging debt and getting away with it, and he's still doing it to this day. Even him being the president right now, for sure, he having it his way right now, and all the taxes, he making sure everything is working in his way with all the businesses that he making sure everything is working in his favor moving forward. So Trump definitely is in that bloodline. It ain't, it's no doubt, because he's done things that the average man can never do.
You get a good massage every now and then, right, honey?
Were you ever an abusive husband?
Excuse me? What?
Donald, were you ever an abusive husband?
No.
What a question.
No, heavy question. I mean, we're talking about.
Really?
I thought this
To
was
go
a
from
business
fun
show.
to that, yeah.
No, that's not. It just isn't my thing.
You never lifted a hand.
Never.
I
could
never
do it.
did either.
I never could
Dude,
do
I
it.
can't. I don't know. Let's. All right.
Yeah, man, you see what's going on though. At first, when he came on, I was like, Donald Trump talking good about OJ. Then he started peeping out the scenery. We know what's going on, man. Y'all just came to shit on OJ one time, and the whole time he talking about all his accolades, everything he's done. He was like, no, I never. Man, crazy work though. I wonder how OJ feel about this show. I'm pretty sure he watched this and be like, man, fuck Donald Trump. That's a fact.
We get a little verbal every once in a while, maybe, but I could never do it. Never understood
I
it.
said, God bless every man that does not raise their hand.
All right. Let's give it a
Hey, wait. I need you to show me how to convert a Word doc to a PDF again.
Seriously? It'd be faster if I used Scratch.
To love and marriage, most people would agree that money and finances are a definite ingredient. But our guests today are women who say if you don't have money, and lots of it, you're simply not worth dating.
Yeah, that's how most women feel. But anyways, we're going to conclude that there with the Geraldo Rivera show. Man, I had to bring you that episode with Trump on it. Donald Trump. He came on the show with pictures of O.J. Simpson in the back, and pretty much, it looked to me like he's standing on top of O.J. Like, yeah, I'm like pretty much saying, trying to show like, yeah, I'm in the lead. And he got Geraldo Rivera mentioning all his accolades, all the casinos, all the properties. It's like, man, make that shit make sense, man. But like I said, this is how they do black celebrities, athletes, you know what I'm saying? For any type of famous person, you making millions. So you know what I mean? When you win, you win. As soon as you fuck up, I mean they dragging you through the mud. And that's just how the game go. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say all money ain't good money. And that just bring me back to P. Diddy. You know what I mean? Because you got to think, from the Epstein files, man, you read them files, they talking about sacrificing babies, eating, human flesh, and, all kind of weird shit. Having sex with minors, having babies. Man, I done heard some crazy shit where they talking about they be having babies suck on grown man penises because the babies are just, once they get once they just keep sucking or some crazy shit. Like these is real life, people doing real satanic, crazy shit. But they want to throw Diddy away because Diddy having these freak offs. Everybody knew Diddy was a freak, but that's just how the game go though. So that's basically what we seeing right here. They got OJ Simpson picture in the back. Trump come all out. He got his head up high. And you thinking, I'm trying to figure it out, but the whole time, they had the other three little people that was sitting there and they was putting in their little input. But they didn't go all the way in on the bashing, but you could tell that's what it was, because they was, it's 1995. It's around the time of the OJ Simpson trial, and it's like, why is y'all talking about this man right now? He can't defend himself. It just lets you know the character of Donald Trump, man. You know what I mean? People be, you think people was like really for you, but the whole time, man, all it is about power and control. At the end of the day, he wanted to get his little point. He wanted to feel like he was sitting next to the man. He had his chest poked out. That's how I see it. Because I don't think he can do this in OJ Simpson, in the presence of the real OJ Simpson. I think OJ had that presence to where he made, he made certain men feel some type of way. Yeah, man, but that's crazy work. Make that make sense though. But I had to bring you another one from the Geraldo Rivera show. This is another show. I really never really watched this shows back in the day. Because again, I was a kid. Around this time, I was in early teens. So for sure, I wasn't trying to watch Donald Trump at this time. I didn't even know who the hell Donald Trump was, man. But I definitely had to bring you the content. Yeah, man. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I got more content coming. I got some new criteria too I'm putting together for sure though, man. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you peeking, go on, hit that like button. It don't cost you nothing to hit that like button. I'm gonna keep on bringing you this content, man. You know who it is. It's Big Ghost, and we booming. Talk nice to me, mommy.